Happy New Year. Welcome back to Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. I'm here to do my best reads for 2024. These are my picks. I read a lot of great books, but these, I would say they stood out. Please bear with me. Um, I didn't do a best read for last year because unfortunately something came up, something that was out of my control, and I never got around to doing it, even though I said I was still gonna do my best read for last year. I unfortunately did not make it. Like I said, bear with me. I will talk about these books, and I try not to keep you too long. And some of them I may just tell you the surface of what it's about, and you can probably get a feel. If not, you could just look up the synopsis on Amazon or wherever you go to read synopsis on books. My first book, these are in no particular order. My first book actually is an author who I read for the first time. I want to say it was like maybe 2 years ago, and it's a duology. That was a duology called The Black Effect. And when I say that book was something else, it was something else. And this one right here did not disappoint. I even enjoyed this one more than I did The Black Effects. And the book I'm talking about is SOS by Sheree Lewis. This book here, the main character is Kaya, and she's an inspired chef, and she's working at this restaurant. And her boss, he's like, you know, talking with her, and they're closing up, and there's a robbery that takes place, and I'm not gonna say what happened, but she remembered one of the men's voice and wind up in a situation with him later on to save her father. I'll just put it that way. SOS by Sheree Lewis. Please pick up. It's a thick one. My next one is by one of my favorite, who I haven't spoken with in a while, and I just want to say this book right here, Paige Turner, beautiful read. Oh my God, for her to be a female and to know the males, the way she wrote this book, you would think she was a male. And I just fell in love with these two characters. They still live with me. Um, and I just want to say, mm, mm, mm. And it is Sweet Honesty by Joan Vassar. This is a historical male male romance. And when you read this book, you will forget that it's a male male romance. I mean, because of their family is so accepting, especially Alex, Michael, and Alex. Wow, this book right here, oh my God, is so good. You would not be disappointed. Sweet Honesty by Joan Vassar. If you have not picked this book up, please pick this book up because it's historical. I learned so much reading this book. I learned about the Green Book and everything, and her research is unbelievable. Sweet Honesty by Joan Vassar. Please pick up. You will not be disappointed. In my next book happens to be from an author who is a phenomenal writer, and she's new, but it's like everyone love her writing, and I've got her first series. I haven't got around to reading that one, but she brought out this new one last year. I do want to believe it was the end of last year, and I picked it up and read it this year. And I'm talking about Lemon Pepper by author Nina, another thick one. I just want to say about this one is about two family who suffers a tragedy, I want to say, and is brought back together. There's drama in this book. There's love in this book. It's a lot going on in this book. It is so good. Um, I read it like maybe the second or third of month of this year in 2020. I can't wait to get to On Us series. I have it, the Porter, and all of those other books. Yeah. Please check out Lemon Pepper by author Nina. This book is so good. It really is. This is my first read, and I've been told that this was by some people was good. It was okay, but On Us is the one to read. So please check it out if you get a chance. And don't forget to leave those reviews if you can, please. My next book that touched me because I really could relate to the author, the main character in this book, and I wanted to say I love this book. It's the fine print by Arthur Thielen, and I just want to say that the main character in here, Zomaz I can't pronounce his name. I have a problem with pronouncing his name. He has a long name, and I just want to say Hendrix. I just want to say what he was going through with his grandmother was so real to me. I felt his pain through reading this book. This book has everything in it. It has drama, um, loss, love, everything. Please check out the fine print by Arthur Thielen. You will not be disappointed. My next one is the second book I've read from this author, and I just want to say he did not disappoint. The first book I read by him, the main characters was like females. This one was about two brothers and their broken relationship. They had the same father but different mothers. Um, it dealt with like discrimination, racism in this book, drama, loss, and I'm talking about Wonder in the Dark by Jamada Emil. This book, to me, hands down, was so much better than, well, yeah, I felt this one better than the Black Queen. I guess because it was a male character, uh, I could relate relate to him. So, um, yeah, Wonder in the Dark. I'm getting all tie tongue talking about it. This book was so good, though. Please check out Jamada Emil. If you have not, you could. I mean, there's no connection between this book and the Black Queen, but I would say start out with the Black Queen and then go to this one, and you can see his writing how it's grown with over these two novels. Again, Wonder in the Dark by Jamada Emil, and you will not be disappointed. My next book is an author who reaches out to me and always sending me her book, and I just want to say this is a duology, and I just want to say I love both of them. Ooh, I love both of these books, and I feel like she's so underrated. More people need to know her about her because she is a phenomenal writer, and I just love her work. I mean, this probably made about like my fifth or sixth book by this author, and I still got more of her work that I need to cover that I haven't had a chance to get to. With no further ado, I am talking about Crescent City Blues. This is book two, but I read book one. Book one happens to be on my Kindle, so I said, I'll just show you book two. This is a hardcover. It is a page turner. You have the main character in this book, who is a journalist, a very successful journalist, Kelly, and she gets involved with uh, a musician who I I'm not even gonna mention his name because I didn't like him. The things he took Kelly through, I felt like was so unnecessary, and he knew how she felt about him, and I just felt like he was just trying to play with her, and he knew he had her. But then on the flip side, I didn't like it when Kelly got involved with the doctor, and that's all I'm gonna say. But this book right here, ooh, it was so good. And when Kelly's best friend, what happened to Kelly's best friend, I was I was done with this book. I was just like messaging my Keisha Mac, like we need to talk on the phone because I'm mad with you. That's all I'm gonna say about this book. This is a must read. Please leave those review. Crescent City Blues 2 is full of drama, love, loss, and mystery. I'll put it that way, but I'm giving it away. My next one is an author who I've heard so much about. I've actually got to really talk to her on um it was a online a book event, and I couldn't wait till this book to come out. I have both of her first two releases. I haven't had a chance to read them, but this is her third book. It came out, I want to say, in June. And I just love her. I love this book. This book was so good. And I'm talking about What You Leave Behind by author Wanda M. Morris. This book right here, it deals with the main author who is coming home because of her marriage. It didn't work out, and she comes home and something happens, and it just takes her on this whole mystery. And she started working for this firm, and it's like it has this book is dealing with mystery. It's kind of historical. I love the twist with the history and the historical part of this book. And she comes home to someone she used to date, and things just take off from there. This book, it made me think of one of my siblings, because in the book you have these two siblings who has a broken relationship, and I'm in that position right now. um and it never they never worked it out, so hopefully I will come to we could come to some kind of common ground before one of us leave here. I'll just put it that way. But leave what you leave behind is a must read. This is a good read. I can't wait to go back and read her book, all her little secrets, which I was just looking at, and the second one I want to say, on the run. Um, that's very historical. That one is. Again, What You Leave Behind by Wanda M. Morris. Great read. Great, great, great read. A must read at that, too. My next read. This is a debut by this author. I just saw the cover and it kept popping up on my Facebook page, Instagram page, and I just love this cover so much. And then when I read the synopsis, I was like, I got to read that book when it comes out. So I ordered it. I want to say I ordered it through Thrift Books. And if you don't know Thrift Books, they don't all sell used books. This was a brand new book. Um, yeah, this author is new to me. I love this book. I can't wait to see where she goes from here. And the book I'm talking about is Beautiful and Terrible Things by S.M. Stevenson. Beautiful and Terrible Things by S.M. Stevenson. This book right here is about a group of friends from different backgrounds, and they come together to form this friend family relationship. And sometimes they didn't get along because of their background, how they was raised, but they still managed to hold their relationship together. And that's why I love this book so much. I mean, where you may have one that was a Republican, another one is a Democrat, strong headed, and they were butt heads, but they still respect one another and still could manage their friendship. I don't think I could. I don't know if well, in this day and time, I'm going to say I can't. I don't think I could do it, but it was nice seeing that they could hold their relationship together and their friendship, family like. Again, beautiful, terrible things. This right here is a beautiful novel. It's a must read. I highly recommend it. Anyone can read this book and find something within themselves. Um, Beautiful and Terrible Things by S.M. Stevenson is not a disappointment. Please, if you read, please leave those reviews. And another one. This is another one by one of the authors I already did a best read on, and this one right here becomes a throuple, and I am talking about the lovely Joan Vassar, Bittersweet. Oh my gosh, she really taught me something in this one. You have Lamont, Vicky, and Jack. Lamont is, you know what? After I read this, he, to me, he wasn't really straight, but he wasn't really gay either. So he was in love with his wife. He was Michael's ex lover, and he fell in love with Jack and his wife Vicky, who he was already in love with, and they made their relationship work. Most people may frown upon this. I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I used to frown upon this when I heard about it, but the way she write this book, it'll make you understand what it's like being in that type of relationship, and you may even say, "Wow, I might could try this." I mean, I thought maybe hey, younger, whatever. Who knows? I might would have tried it too. Um, but yeah, Bittersweet by John Vassar. Another historical, another wonderful, beautiful written story. Please don't sleep on her. She is a phenomenal author. My next one is I'm going through these books, so stick with me, please. My next one is a hard read, a beautiful read. It's a duology. This duology, it really worked my emotions. It made me angry. Um, there's parts of this book you want to cry because it's so close to reality today. When you look at politics, the government, and everything, this author I've had conversation on Instagram with, and I just like when I read this book, I was like, "Whoa, what a phenomenal read! What a phenomenal read!" It's in Denver, Colorado. There's a Mother's Day massacre, and Langston Brown is framed. The book I am talking about, They Can't Take Your Name by Robert Justice. They Can't Take Your Name by Robert Justice. This book right here, like I said, he was framed. He was working at a bank, and this massacre, just start killing, and there's a robbery taking place, and he goes to prison, and his daughter is in college. She switched her major because she wants to become a lawyer to save her father. And when I say that, I love how he paid tribute to the ones before us, ancestors, civil rights leaders, and everything in this book, and bringing up names and stuff from the jazz bar and everything. This right here was a phenomenal read. It deals with loss, love, drama. It it gives you a little bit of everything. And when this book was at the end, I was like, it's gotta be more. And lo and behold, this is the second one. This is part two. Dream in the Dark by Robert Justice. It picks up where this one left off, and it does not disappoint. This one right here, from the riot on Martin Luther King birthday, I was like just too through it with all of what was going on and how corrupted the government is. I just want to say, please check out Dream in the Dark. This is book two. They Can't Take Your Name, book one. You will not be disappointed. This next author, I have read almost her whole catalog. Um, but the last book I read by her, I want to say was 2018. And I was like, I've got to read something by her before the end of this year. And I made sure I did. And I was taken aback a little bit by this book because, well, it's a duology, it's a part one and part two. And because I was like, wow, I was just surprised that she wrote this. But when I say this book was so good, I am talking about Need for Nora by author Takira Allen. It deals with Nora, who comes from um, poverty. Her mother is, I didn't like her mother, and she was like kind of, this deals with, she was overweight, and Nora had issues about her eating because she didn't want to be overweight and unhealthy and everything. And something happened, and Nora and her brother is separated. She goes to juvie. No, she before she does go to juvie, but then she leaves there and go live with her aunt. And her aunt took her in, and something happened with her aunt. Well, her aunt came home and caught her in a compromising position. I just put it that way because I don't want to give the book away. And she said, "You gotta go." And I was like, "You do realize this is a 16-year-old you're talking to." Um, she winds up from the West Coast to the East Coast of New York. She winds up making friends with a lady. Um, I don't remember some of the names because, like I said, I read this a little while ago. So she meets someone. She wound up working for this very rich, successful family, and things just take off from there. And in book two, I just want to say, book two, you find out that Nora is not who you think she is. She's about a lot of things. I want to say to the author so bad, have you ever thought about doing a thriller? Because, whew, toward the end of this book right here, it felt like a thriller. And I mean, when I say a thriller, I mean a thriller. Again, Need for Nora by author Takira Allen. You would not be disappointed at all. And I'm almost done. I have two more books to go and I will be done. This next book I finished just yesterday, and I want to say what a phenomenal read. I saw this book on everything across social media, um, from Good Morning America. They had guests on there talking about this is a book you must read before the end of 2024, and that is James by Percy Everett James. This book is, the main character is Jimmy, his perspective of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. And I love how he told his part and how he felt. And this book right here has a lot going on in it. I'm just going to tell you twists, turns, trigger warning. It is violence, assaults, and other things going on within this book. This is a must read. You will not be disappointed. If you can't get it in before the end of this year, check out next year. This is so good. I mean, it made me want to. I'm gonna go back and read Huckleberry Finn, but I just don't know when. But that's my goal for 2025 to go back and read Huckleberry Finn because this was phenomenal. I want to hear Mark Twain version and compare the two. Last but not least, I got to meet this author earlier in this year, right when this book was released. She was here, and I made sure I went to the bookstore, the Bookworm, Powder Springs, to meet her and tell her how phenomenal this book was. This was her first historical. She's a Christian fiction author, but this was her first historical book. I'm talking about The American Queen by Vanessa Miller. The American Queen by Vanessa Miller. This one deals with, I'm going to try to say her name, Luella. and her family, and this is like after the Civil War, and they're set free, and how they took all the slaves that wanted to go, and they went and got this land, and they wound up having their own town, their own houses, and everything. What I loved about this book is that even though it was historical back in the day, it she showed Vanessa showed how not all white people is racist. Um, because that land that lady let them buy, um, that was really nice of her and saw the good in her. This book right here was phenomenal. The American Queen has a lot going on. Um, this is definitely a classic read. Um, it was wonderful to hear Vanessa talk about how she went to the promised land and how it looked where this all took place. I just want to say, please check out The American Queen by Vanessa Miller. You will not be disappointed. And that's all I have for you. Please, if you watch this video, I try not to go too long, but I'm, 31 minutes over. Please drop down your comment what you look forward to in 2025, and some books you're looking forward to reading that's coming out in 2025. I want to bless you all to have a great new year. Happy New Year. Hope everything works out for you, and everything you look forward to in 2025 you will receive. Again, thank you for supporting Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. If you have not subscribed, please feel free to do so. Um, Share this video. Sharing is caring. Please follow me on Instagram, Robert underscore reading underscore room. That's my Instagram profile, my name. Again, Happy New Year. And I will see you in the next video. Good night.